trying to get on.
I guess that's one good thing about having it virtual versus in person.
Exactly.
Okay, I think we're going to get started. Hi, everyone, and welcome. I know most of you already, but for those whom I don't know, my name is Felicia Rubenstein, and I'm the founder of HAYVN. We also have our team here tonight, Teresa, Malou, Jen, and Allie, so welcome. I hope you are as excited as I am. This is our 10th HAYVN Hatch. While we would love to be in person tonight, we are rolling with COVID's ups and downs, and we made a judgment call, so as we had to go online. HAYVN, as you all know, is the co-working space geared towards women supporting, inspiring, and collaborating with other women, regardless of where they are on their personal or professional journey. And HAYVN Hatch is just one of many events that we host to do just that. Tonight, it's about highlighting and supporting female entrepreneurs. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Kendra Farn, who has her own video production company here in Fairfield County. And Kendra has produced all of our HAYVN videos. As a former television producer and anchor, she knows how to keep things moving. So I'll pass it over to you, Kendra.
Thank you, Felicia, and welcome everyone. I am so excited to be here at HAYVN, by the way. I don't know if you can see, if what you can see is any glimpse of how cool this spot is. I can't put it into words. It's an amazing spot. Many of you have been here. All of you will have an opportunity with a free day pass to come here, and I highly encourage it. It is just an awesome spot. We are not in person, but I got to tell you, we're not wearing masks. So you got to look at the glass half full, right? And personally, probably a little TMI for everyone, but I just got my get out of jail card today with my negative test. So I am super excited to not be in my bedroom or in my house. Anyway, so thank you for joining us. This is our 10th HAYVN Hatch. The next hour, if you have not joined us in person or in a virtual hatch, you will see it is going to be fun. It is going to be inspiring. So I want everyone to sit back, relax, grab your wine, grab your tea, grab your beer, grab your seltzer, whatever floats your boat, and just enjoy the next hour. It's really fantastic. Our last hatch was, as Felicia said, in person, but we do roll either way with whatever COVID throws us, which right now happens to be a little bit of a spike. So we're going virtually, but virtual or in person, all of these hatches have the same energy, the same excitement, the same support for female entrepreneurs. And we always have a packed house. We have 100, just under, I think 98 people signed up. So you'll see people will start logging on as they get home. But it is a packed house, so we're super excited for all of the presenters presenting tonight. We had a lot of applications, as we always do, to pitch tonight. So choosing the 6 women in businesses that you're going to hear from tonight was not an easy task, and they are so different and so amazing in their own way, and we've gotten to get to know them a little bit before tonight, so we're really excited for everybody else to hear from them. Tomorrow, we encourage anyone to reach out and follow up with any or all of the female founders. Go to their websites, because of course their contact information is there. The one thing that we do ask of everyone is that you please don't solicit them. That's the one request we have. We want to thank all of you in the audience for all of your voluntary donations. Those donations are going to the prize money for our winner tonight. And while every dime counts, the cash prize is not a big amount towards advancing your business, but it's not all about the money. We always try to emphasize the most important thing about the HAYVN hatches, and what HAYVN is obviously founded on, is the exposure and the connections and the support and enthusiasm and inspiration that we all can give to all of these female entrepreneurs tonight. So that's always our mission and the most important thing. Okay, we want to give a shout out to our Hatch founding partners, HAYVN and Felicia, of course, Realist Ventures and Marie Roca, Venture Mom and Holly Hurd, and P. Guerin Productions, and that's me. Hatch is a joint venture among the 4 women-led companies, a collaboration that comes, as I said, from our passion for women-led businesses and a desire to support them in any way we can. Every hatch, which we love, is always a reunion of sorts, and we always have past presenters joining us in the house. There's some logos of all of the past presenters that we've had in our past 9 hatches. Tonight in the house, I want to give a shout out to our past presenters who are here. Emily with Land Maverick, Zena and Vernita with Big Hire, Tiffany with Bo Yi, Anne and Alexa with Schedulette, Catherine with IntelliHealth, and Wendy with Futures Thrive. So thank you guys for coming back as you always do and supporting these current presenters tonight. Okay, off to the hatch we go. Here's how it's going to work in case you've never been to one. There will be 1 winner and 1 runner-up. Our winner will take home the collected prize money as well as a HAYVN support package for their business. And the runner-up will also take home the support package, and we're going to outline those support packages later on when we present them. Okay, to the judges. I would like each of them, there they are on your screen, to just take a minute, if you would, and please introduce yourselves to our audience. And Rach, we'll start with you.
Great, thanks so much, Kendra. Hi, everyone, I'm Rach Brand. I'm an investor and mentor for companies working in well tech and food tech industries. I also have a few day jobs. I work in product market fit for my own company, Rise. And I also support innovation and technology for Launch in Hartford. But I spent my first 20 years of my career working for big business, kind of circling the food industry from McDonald's to Compass Group. So food is really my bailiwick. And through that opportunity, I realized there was a better way. I'm really not sure what that is yet, but I'm kind of on a mission to figure it out. And that's my excitement in being part of the Hatch. I discovered startup culture while working for Mighty Leaf Tea in 2010, and I stayed through their exit, and I'm totally hooked. So I was also with Chobani for early stage, and I realized that I'm just a champion for those with great ideas, great stories, an excellent work ethic, and a desire to create change. It's really hard to be a founder, so today I'm here to listen and grow through the eyes of each one of you founders. One of the things I love about female-led entrepreneurship is our willingness to always work together and help each other. Thank you, Felicia and the HAYVN community, for really creating this incredibly safe space for all of us, those who are women founders and those who truly just love working and supporting women. So thanks so much.
Fantastic. Thank you, Rach. Okay, Eugene, who goes by Gene, take it away.
Hi, everybody. I'm Gene Carr. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I got involved in the tech world in the earliest days of AOL online, and I did several 3 or 4 tech startups, all at the intersection of the arts and technology. The company I founded most recently was called Patron Technology. We provided software for cultural organizations to do ticketing, marketing, and fundraising online. I sold that business along with my co-founder. And since then, I have been mentoring and coaching early stage founders. I've also been doing some early stage investing, and I'm part of a group called Mentors Plus Angels, which is a group specifically involved in trying to find early stage investments with women and underrepresented founders. So I'm delighted to be here. Look forward to pardon me. I've done many of these pitches myself. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you all have to say, and good luck to everyone.
Awesome. Thank you, Jean. Okay, Alexandra, who goes by Allie.
One of the first of 3 Allies I think you'll meet tonight. My name is Allie Cooley. I'm a Connecticut native and a finance and climate entrepreneur. I actually started a business called Greenworks Lending in 2015, actually based out of Darien, and sold it to Nuveen, which is a subsidiary of TIA Craft, in April 2021. So since then, I've stayed on with the company as a chief investment officer, to Nuveen Green Capital, which is what we were branded to, and have started to get more involved in angel investing. So I'm a part of a couple different climate angel networks, and very, very excited to be here supporting these female entrepreneurs. Being a female entrepreneur myself, I know how hard it is, but also how high the highs are, how low the lows are. So just thrilled to be here supporting Connecticut and also other female entrepreneurs just getting started. Very excited to see all the pitches and participate in the event.
Great. Thank you, Allie. Okay, off to the pitches we're going to go. Here's how it's going to work, just so that everybody who hasn't been knows how it flows. Each female founder will have a total of 7 minutes. 3 minutes of that is for presenting time. 4 minutes of that is for Q&A. The questions and answers will be from the judges as well as the audience. So audience, if you have any questions, just please put it in the chat. The 3 minutes of presenting time will be timed by Holly Hurd. You will hear presenters a 30-second warning so that you know when to kind of start wrapping it up, and that will be a tap of a wine glass, something like this. And then the 4 minutes of Q&A will be timed by me, and Holly Hurd will be handling the Q&A. And you will also have that same tap of the wine glass when it's time to wrap that up. Audience, we have a quick request for you. Please put your questions in the Q&A, but do that during or right after that specific presenter finishes their pitch. The reason being is that we can't entertain questions once we've moved on to the next presenter for that female founder. So just try to be efficient in your timing of getting those in the chat, if you would. Presenters, it is in your best interest to answer the questions pretty quickly and efficiently, because then, of course, sounds like a duh, but you can get more questions in and more information out about your company. All right, everyone take a deep breath. Off to the pitches we go. They are going to be in alphabetical order according to the company name. So Malou, if you are ready with the decks, we are going to start with Karen and Conscious Container. Take it away, Karen.
Hello, everyone. I am Karen Mcnamara. I am the founder and CEO of Conscious Container. Conscious Container is building a business to bring refillable glass bottles back into our U.S. infrastructure and economy for wine, beer, and non-alcoholic beverage producers. So what's the challenge? We have a single-use packaging waste crisis. Our single-use glass bottle holds up to 18 to 30% of the carbon footprint in just that single-use bottle alone. And currently in the United States, 70% of our glass goes into landfill. Industry is working to lightweight the glass, but can only achieve a 4% reduction in that glass. And then lastly, there's a lack of refillable glass bottle infrastructure here in the United States. Next slide. So what's the solution? Conscious Container is building a refillable glass bottle infrastructure business where we collect, wash, and resell the refillable glass bottle to beverage producers. For our beverage customers, a refillable glass bottle represents up to an 18% carbon footprint reduction compared to a single-use bottle. And beverage producers will experience a reduction in their overall bottle costs as the bottle is reused multiple times. Also, a refillable glass bottle mitigates the supply chain risk of available glass bottles, which is at critical levels in the wine industry currently. And refillables also minimize the financial impact of current and proposed single-use packaging waste. Next slide. This is a volume-based business. And in the United States, we have the volume of glass bottles required to enable the launch and scaling of this business. Our launch in the wine industry taps into over 2.9 billion wine bottles sold annually just in California alone. Next slide. The Conscious Container team has the experience, industry knowledge, and has done the work to stand up and scale this essential climate action and proven business model. Our president, Bruce Stevens, stood up a wine bottle washing operation previously, and our CFO brings deep entrepreneurial and venture capital experience to our team. Additionally, Conscious Container was incorporated as a benefit corporation in alignment with our social, environmental, and business values. Next slide. We are seeking values-aligned investors to join our seed round capital raise of 1.5 million. This is under a convertible note with a 6 million valuation cap. Our use of funds will support the bottle washing operation, equipment, and working capital in this first round. Additionally, we also received a $500,000 grant from the state of California Greenhouse Gas Reuse Grant for our refillable wine bottle business launch. I thank you for your passion and attention, and I look forward to answering your questions.
Awesome. Great presentation. I am going to time now 4 minutes for the Q&A, and Holly, take it away.
Wow, that was a great presentation. I'm going to go to Gene first and see if he has a question he'd like to ask.
Thanks so much. Great presentation. I love the idea. I looked on your website and it looked like you're sort of ready to get started. I wonder if you could tell us sort of where you are in the startup phase. Do you have customers? Do you have revenue? Kind of where are you in that glide path?
Yeah, oh, great question. First of all, we are ready to launch. We're working to close out this round of capital. We are pre-revenue. We have LOIs from wine customers. I can tell you, Gene, the smaller wineries, they cannot get glass bottles. They are calling us and sending me emails to say, hey, do you guys have glass? So that's where we stand right now. With the launch money, within the first quarter, we will have monthly recurring revenue.
So I got a question from Stephen in the audience. I love the proposition. How will the problem of the cost of the backhaul of empties be addressed?
So what we're doing is we are actually starting off with an existing infrastructure that where there's excess bottles on the production line of these large wineries. And we are launching in Northern California, which is sort of the epicenter of the wine industry. So we are going to tap into the recyclers who are already moving this glass around. And then we are going to pull from that inventory in order to launch the business and begin to start to really, we're going to go scale this.
So it's interesting. Someone from the audience works with Scout and Cellar and their crafted wine, and they say they're looking to improve their sustainability. I'd like to go to Allie and see if one of the judges.
Yeah, great. My question is on per unit profit. So how do you imagine pricing this per bottle? And then what do you imagine your per unit cost will be?
So the unit economics in our cost model, which is really well built, we go, there's really good unit economics from this. There's a 12-ounce bottle up to a 750 ml bottle, and that's a 3 to 31 cent unit economics for those bottles in regards to profit. What was your second question? Apologies.
No, that was it. Yeah, unit economics.
Yeah.
So revenue minus cost would be 31 cents.
Yeah, I'm gonna put one more comment on that. Right now, they cannot get glass. So there has been a 45 to 60% increase in the cost of those bottles. And so our model has us at the lower end of that. So we know right out the gate, unit economics are gonna look even better.
So we have a question from an audience member. How do you plan on collecting the recyclable glass from households around the nation and/or incentivizing them to recycle glass?
So the long pole in the tent is retail and getting retail and consumers. This model works best in deposit states to start off with, but we're starting off with a B2B model to collect that glass that's coming off the production lines. It's the low-hanging fruit. And there are a lot of innovators that we're partnering with on really, really amazing ways to get consumers engaged. We have to incent. It either has to be convenient and incented for consumers to get involved. So we're going to start with the B2B model, get the engine rolling. And then as we go to scale, we'll look across the United States to see where are the best places to do that. And there's the demand out there, and we need to partner with different providers. I've always felt existing infrastructures, what's already there in order for
Right.
us to get that glass back.
Rach, a few seconds left. Do you have a question?
Hey, who's your competitor? Who's your primary competitor right now?
You know, we get that question and there's the competitors is sort of the existing system. Waste haulers, they like waste, right? That's so they could be a potential competitor. Loop, TerraCycle Loop they're trying to get this going, but they're gonna be a customer of ours because they're gonna need the internal infrastructure in order to make their model work. So we see them, they're maybe considered a competitor, but not at this point.
I think, Kendra, are we out of time?
We are out of time. Karen, that was awesome. Wonderful presentation. And thank you guys for the questions in the audience. One quick reminder, if the attendees could put their questions in the Q&A and not in the chat, then we'll make sure that Holly sees them.
I'm
All
seeing
right.
both of them, just FYI.
Okay,
So,
perfect.
good.
All right, Malou, if you're ready with the deck, we are up next with Mila and Crystal Neuro. Take it away.
Good afternoon. I'm Ludmila Kvochina, MD and PhD, and I present here Crystal Neuro LLC, the biotech company. I am really appreciate for the opportunity, and I want to touch like really sensitive topic. It's related to Alzheimer and other dementias. People, next slide, please. People all over the world looking for the better care about their elder ones, loved ones. Elder people are real treasure for the society. They are carriers of knowledge, skills, experience, but they are losing all this, many of them in age 65 and older, with losing memory because of, next slide please, Alzheimer's disease. So except of this loss, there is a dramatical emotional component associated with dementias for family and caregivers. There is one more component, the financial economical. Projected to 2050, it's expected to have a $1 trillion loss in US economy. Next slide, please. The major problem right now is in a mostly diagnostic. It's very expensive, but the most important, it's too late. Practically, it reflects non-recoverable massive brain cells and death, and as such, a loss of brain and body function. The solution, which is Crystal Neuro proposing, is easy, applicable, not expensive diagnostic kit based on a contemporary, including nanotechnology and nanomaterial, which will detect the early biomarker of the disease, or let's say the indicator, molecular indicator of the disease, years, if not a couple of decades before the symptoms will appear. Next, please. Patent is already filed back in December, and adult people in age 45 and older will be proposed to be tested at annual physical exam with increment 5 years to retest until the disease marker will be detected. And that's what the point to start treatment years before the symptoms will appear. Significant addressable market for this issue. 80 million people in age 45-64 living in the US, and that's might bring to 4 billion profit in a best situation, of course, with a minimal cost of kit, $50 per kit. Next slide, please. So Crystal Neuro LLC, the biotech company, this is our contact information. Join us to help our clients to get early diagnostic, and that will prevent and ease the disease and improve quality of life. And I really appreciate your attention, and I'm ready for questions. Thank you.
Fantastic. Wonderful presentation. Thank you. Holly, I will start your 4-minute clock for the Q&A.
Fantastic. Why don't we start with Rach this time?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Hi, wonderful presentation. I'm very interested in your product. So Mila, can you tell me a little bit more about your team and how you created this patent?
So the patent is actually created from the research when I was doing back on a brain research, and I was proposed to work with a nanomaterial. And I, first of all, I actually did not have clue how to apply it. And then it clicked me when I was on a one party with a person who is actually lost the memory and did not recognize the place where she is in a house or her kids. But related to the team, we have collaborators, and this is supervisors and the people who will lead us with the scientific stuff in a North Texas University. Also, there is a collaboration and people who advising here on a financial question and on doing statistically proved proof of concept in Yukon.
Great. So we have a question from the audience. What is your IP, patent position, and strategy?
So the patent is actually filed back in this December. 1 year ago, we filed the preliminary patent, and now we placed. So we are waiting for results. We did not hear anything yet, except that it's accepted. So that's kind of where we are right now. So we're waiting for this. Under the patent, I'm actually can tell only, of course, a couple issues. So this is a patenting the biomarker, which is not accepted like classical biomarker right now, the pattern to detect it, and a little bit unusual possibility to detect the disease with some biomarker, because we believe that one biomarker, any one which is accepted right now, will bring to a lot of false positive. So the panel of biomarkers would be a much more reliable test.
Jean, did you have a question?
Sorry. Can you describe to us, to the degree you understand, what regulatory controls are going to be around this test? Where do you, what approvals do you need to get from whom? And what process do you need to go through with the FDA, et cetera, et cetera?
So for this product, there is a three major customer sectors. The research laboratories, that we don't need like really much regulatory approval, except like agreement with university rules or whatever research lab rules. The second one, veterinary application, because animals subjective as well to the dementias and Alzheimer. So that we need to figure out. And for the human use, of course, it would be FDA. So that would be quite a significant regulatory approach.
So we have another question from the audience. Who is your buyer? In other words, are you selling this to general practice doctors that they would use during a well visit, or would it be outside of GPs?
So as I mentioned, for the laboratory, for the research use, this is mostly like research labs. Would it be commercial? Would it be academic? Second sector, veterinary clinic, that's mostly the diagnostic laboratories. And for the human use, that would be like two directions. We need to figure out how we can work with insurances, but the diagnostic centers with themselves would buy from us, and the primary doctors and the neurological department of the hospitals. And we considering if that would be possible with regulation. It's what depends on FDA to sell to directly to patient who goes to a physical exam. So that's we cannot say for sure.
Thank you so much. I think we're out of time.
Great presentation, Mila. Thank you very much. Awesome. We're moving on to Allie and One Fun Company. There you go, Allie. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm Allie Vincenzo, a co-founder and CEO of One Fun Company. We are disrupting the personal care category with the goal of taking moms from zero to hygiene heroes. Next slide, please. The problem? Kids just want to have fun. Play is what kids do, from sharing and high-fiving to swishing and creating. Touching everything that comes their way is as natural to them as breathing. It's how they learn. But spreading germs is rarely on their radar. Kids just want to be kids. 72% of parents surveyed said that they are always reminding their children to wash hands. I was one of them. Unfortunately, most people in general, that's all of you, don't spend more than 15 seconds properly washing hands. And that's kind of gross. If the COVID-19 pandemic has taught us one lesson, it's that proper hand washing is one of the most important habits we can instill in our children. And it all starts at home with mom and dad. Next slide, please. Meet my co-founders and superstar Harvard MIT scientists, Jeff Karp and Yuhan Lee, both parents and both professors with deep expertise in material sciences. Together, we are on a mission to improve the routines and feelings about personal care, health, and hygiene by creating products that kids actually love to use, therefore making parenting easier. Next slide, please. Introducing our first patent pending product, Splats, naturally fun hand soap that bursts in your hands with a gentle squeeze and an awesome splat. Tactile, sensory, and effective in killing germs and viruses. These little bubbles of pure hand soap bring joy and laughter to an otherwise stressful and tedious routine. We have sold over 25,000 units in our first year. Splats are made with natural and biodegradable and non-drying ingredients right here in our own lab based in South Norwalk, Connecticut. Each Splats ball is one dose of soap, making it easy to know exactly how much soap to use. We have partnered with Your Mom Cares, a kids' mental health organization, and a portion of every sale supports their incredible platform. Next slide, please. Our all new and patent pending form factor, the Splats ball, can be applied across the personal care category, from bubble bath to body wash, shampoo, to even oral care like toothpaste and mouthwash. We are an innovation engine. Since our R&D and manufacturing is done right here in-house, we have full control over our formulas, our colors, our scents, and even our shapes. We can't wait for you to try Splats. And as dozens of kids have said, it's so satisfying. Please visit our website, onefun.com, and you can use the code HAYVN HATCH at checkout for 20% off. Thank you.
Boy, you actually might have been to the minute on that 3 minutes of presentation. Thank you, Allie. That was fantastic. Okay, we'll go to the Q&A for 4 minutes and I'll time, and Holly, take it away.
Well, from Allie to Allie, let's start with Allie.
Great, thanks. First of all, I definitely could use your product with my 3-year-old. Second of all, can you talk a little bit more about those 25,000 units that you've sold? Who are you selling to? Are there repeat customers? Can you just tell us a little bit more about your sales so far?
Sure. So I would say about 90% of our sales are direct to consumer. So from our website, we have sold 5 pallets worth of Splats, which is about $40,000 to Uncommon Goods. So if you go on uncommongoods.com, you can find our product. And we're in about 100 specialty stores across the country with plans to expand into brick and mortar and eventually get into the big guys like Target, Bed Bath & Beyond, Whole Foods.
So we have a question from the audience. Can the product be sold without plastic containers?
Well, that is a great question. And that's been one of our primary goals since we launched, is to find a shatterproof jar. And I've actually recently seen a shatterproof glass jar that we are going to do some R&D and explore, because yes, moving away from plastic is a goal of ours.
Jean, did you have a question?
Yes, thank you. I'm just curious on the 25,000. Do you know what your acquisition costs and your margin on those products were?
Yes, so it costs us about $7.50 to acquire a customer. We are currently selling the product for $15 plus $5 shipping, and it costs us $3 to make. And in this year, with an upgraded machine, we can get that cost to closer to $2 and hopefully bringing down the MSRP to a more affordable and mass market price.
Have you done D2C on Instagram or any of the socials yet?
Yes, actually, most of our sales are done through Facebook and Instagram advertising and Google search.
Thank you.
Let's go to Rach.
Thank you, Holly. Wonderful product, excited about it. So our chat, we were just talking a little bit about do you have a patent, or is there a way that you're going to be able to protect yourself?
So we filed, when we knew we had something special, we filed our provisional patent in May of 2020. We converted it to a non-provisional patent in May of 2021. And now it was just published actually about a month ago. So
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Anything else from the audience or the judges? We have a little bit of time left.
Also, I want to remind the presenters that questions that we don't get to because the 4 minutes Holly runs out of time, you can certainly please and are encouraged to answer them yourself online.
Holly, have you, I mean, obvious question is, if you're good at this, somebody else with better resources is just going to come do it again, duplicate what you're doing, which is a standard problem and not a reason not to do the business. But I'm wondering how you've thought about, aside from sort of being first and being fast, what else have you thought about in that regard?
Well, we, have a seasoned legal team. So we are, faithful in our patent, in our provisional patent, that we can ward off impersonators. But yeah, it's just being first to market and getting the brand out there and spreading awareness. And also the fact that we are made in the USA, all natural ingredients and biodegradable. We just check a lot of those boxes that we know moms and dads are looking for.
Thanks.
Yeah, and Kendra, I think we're out of time.
We are. I was just about to ding. So thank you. Allie, that was a great presentation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Moving on. Malou, if you're ready with the deck, we'll go to Courtney with Parkwatch. Oh, sorry. Courtney, take it away.
Are you frustrated from circling the block looking for parking? Are you tired of paying over $500 a month for garage parking? Hi, I'm Courtney Stern, founder of Parkwatch. Our community AI app solves the pain points of parking by navigating to your destination, matching with parking buddies, and providing real-time parking. Why does it take hours to find parking? According to Simply Analytics, there are 0.3 available parking spots per New York City household. With outdoor dining, city bike stations, and loading zones, the Department of Transportation eliminated 7,000 parking spots. How do we fix this? We match users based on their opposite parking schedules to arrive at their destination with parking. Our first parking buddy was a commuter from outside the city who arrived at the hospital at 7 a.m., received the local's parking spot, and after her shift ended at 4 p.m., she gave the local her spot back. Our users were so grateful that they saved money, 2 hours daily, and had guaranteed parking. Next slide. With 40% increase in New York City car ownership since 2020 and subscription-based revenue model, we found the serviceable obtainable market in only New York City is $482 million. The app will be free for the first 6 months, so users can enjoy saving on average garage fees of $6,000 a year. Eventually, charging $192 per year on our path toward profitability with our beta app launch in one city, targeting high traffic neighborhoods. Next slide. Our value proposition is unique because not only do we provide parking matches, but users have a leaderboard to increase parking shares. And also users can rent their driveways to earn money, directly message parking buddies, and keep other users accountable with a rating system. No other parking app currently has all these features and actually solves the problem. Next slide. Last month, 100 members signed up for app waitlist with minimal advertising. There are 2 active WhatsApp groups on the Upper East Side with 120 members that interact daily just to find parking. We belong to a Facebook parking group in New York City that has 1,400 members. Next slide. Parkwatch is an innovative human touch and technology solution that solves the parking problem, fosters community, and reduces fuel emissions. Please fund us to pay for our Viral Loops marketing campaign page and direct mail marketing. Thank you.
Thank you, Courtney. Great presentation. 4 minutes of Q&A. Holly, you're up.
All right, let's start with Allie.
Great, thank you, Courtney. You know, I go to New York a lot, and I can imagine you're solving a huge problem for people. Can you talk a little bit more about your revenue model, how you make money, and who you're charging?
Sure. So our revenue-based model would be a subscription fee would cost $14.99 per user per month. Our cost of goods sold is 1.5 to every subscription sold. And the other question, it's primarily going to start off being sold to consumers, but eventually it's going to be a B2B business too, because we can sell to companies to offer as an employee benefit to their employees to arrive to work safely, especially in COVID.
Jean, what do you have?
I'm a little confused. You started at the beginning saying that there was some AI involved, and I guess I wonder if you could help us understand sort of how does this really work? I'm driving around, I'm looking at my phone. If you don't mind just honing a little bit about how that works.
Sure, great question. So there's an algorithm that works behind the scenes. So when users sign up, they input their schedule. If they want to be matched with parking buddies, there's different options when they sign up. So they say, hey, I'm leaving Monday morning every day at 7 a.m. and I need, well, it depends if they're a local or a commuter. So just for a local is leaving at 7 a.m. and a commuter is coming in and needs parking at 7 a.m. So they share parking spots. And then when that hospital worker leaves the hospital, she offers up her spot to either the same local or a different local based on their opposite parking schedules. So that's our main niche of our app, by matching the timing of users who need parking, but also say things happen. You could have a flat tire, you could be stuck in traffic, you could be stuck behind the garbage truck. If you've ever been there, that's terrible in New York City. So we also offer, if your parking buddy cancels last minute, you can be matched in real time when you're within 30 minutes of your destination with another user who's leaving their parking spot. So we not only have, we offer parking services for consistent schedules. So say they have grocery shopping every Sunday or their commuting schedules, but we offer real-time parking.
So can I just add on to Jean's question? So
Yeah.
Can you just describe the AI side of this and how this, is there predictive analytics, or how are you connecting the dots using AI?
Sure. So without getting into too specifics of how the AI works, because hopefully it will be trademarked, but essentially I created multiple inputs that users need when they find parking spots to match users together. So there's many inputs that go into the smart algorithm. And therefore, when they arrive at their parking spot, they'll know a week before that they're matched with a parking buddy. They'll have a long-term parking buddy. So say their schedule is 8 to 5 every day at the hospital, they're going to be giving their spot up at 5 p.m. and getting a spot when they arrive at work. They won't spend 2 hours coming to their hospital shift in the morning, circling the block just to find parking. So it helps. It's great for users who need reliable schedules.
I think that is our last question.
So you have time for one more, Hal.
One more. I have a question. Could you use it for someone who has a house near a stadium and that
Yes.
individual wanted to post that they have a parking spot near a stadium
Yes. So
or
especially
anywhere?
right. So especially with major baseball games or other stadiums, hockey games, people can post their driveway and rent it out to locals and tourists coming in, as well as, parking near a beach is always hard to find street parking. So people who live near the beach can rent their driveways, or people in the city that live near Central Park can rent their driveways if they're out of their space the whole day.
I think that's a great idea. I think that's all the time for questions. So
That is
Kendra,
it.
I'll give it to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was fantastic. Great presentation, great Q&A, Courtney. Okay, number 5 in our lineup, we're going to go to Bryn and patch 10. There you go.
We'll start with the next slide, please. Thanks. Hi, my name is Bryn O'Neill, and I'm the founder and CEO of Patch 10. It seems like nowadays we all have a friend or even a family member with some diagnosis that requires medical treatment. We all know that a lot of people are sick, and it's easy to say it like that, but when you actually look at the numbers are astronomical. Slide, please. There were just under 2 million new cases of cancer in the US, and that was in 2021 alone. There were about 5,200 new cases every single day, which means that by the time I'm done giving this slide, about 5 Americans would have just received a new diagnosis. But the thing that really sticks out to me was that in a study done among cancer patients, almost 60% of them reported a negative body image. And what about all the other factors that come into receiving a diagnosis, things that often get overlooked? Take the hospital gown, for example. They're so cheap and uncomfortable that I think that they make you feel sick, even if you aren't. Treatment rooms are kept cold for a reason, so patients are often freezing throughout their treatment sessions. Traditional clothing makes it hard to get access to their sites, and friends and family want to show their support, but they're tired of sending flowers and cards. Slide, please. So I created Patch 10 to help solve some of these problems. A few years ago, I saw how difficult it was to give my meme a shot in the arm. She has since passed away from Alzheimer's. I wanted to buy some clothes for her, and I went down a rabbit hole that I obviously couldn't get out of. I contacted one of my patients who I know ran the blood cancer floor up at Weill Cornell. So I shadowed her for an entire summer. I met patients and their families, and I got the market research that I needed. 4 rounds of prototypes later, and here we are. Slide, please. So our garments open up at 4 key access sites for port and PICC line access in the chest and the arm and on both sides. That way, if something gets infected and they need to change the site, the shirt has you covered and you can still wear it. Our fabric is top notch. We customize it so that it's similar to what you would find from your Lululemon or athletic athleisure clothes. And most importantly, we made sure that the shirts look cool so that they mimic what you already have in your closet. I'm wearing one. Slide, please. So we've been launched for about 1.5 years. We have 3 patents out on the design of the shirt. We sell on our own Shopify site and 3 other cancer platforms and are now looking at providing wholesale orders. We've pledged to give back 10% of our net profits of each sale back into charities that are helping other patients. And we've had great feedback from patients. They say that they keep them warm and comfortable throughout their treatments and that we've helped eliminate one of the many decisions they have for that day. Friends and family are loving our product because they finally found a meaningful, useful gift, and healthcare providers are fascinated with our shirts. My background is in healthcare as a physical therapist for the last 12 years. And what I know for a fact is that if you can help someone feel even just a little less sick, you've done wonders for them and you've changed their day. I started Patch 10 because I saw a major need in the market and because I know that bringing a little bit of light into someone's life can make a major impact in their world. I wholeheartedly believe in our mission of bringing a little bit of dignity back into the patient experience and helping people feel a little bit more like themselves at a time when nothing around them feels normal. Thank you for your time and thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you for that wonderful presentation, Bryn. Thank you. Okay, Holly, 4 minutes for your question and answer.
Let's start with Rach.
Hi, Bryn. This is a wonderful idea, and I can see lots of applications for it. So a couple of quick questions. I know competitively, there are other brands out there on the market. Can you share a little bit about them?
Yeah. you know, obviously as a new founder, it's like one of the things you look for, right? I went down this rabbit hole, did the market research, and I was like, it's already out there. But I said, I bought the shirts, I bought other people's products. And I said, I know that I can do this better because I wouldn't want to wear this product. And so I think the competitors that are out there, the biggest thing that we get, the biggest feedback is just that the quality of our shirts is above and beyond. And that was the most important thing for me, was our fabric is super soft and warm and comfortable, but also like structurally it's strong, because, you know, the shirts are really, they're difficult, right? They have 8 zippers and 8 like lines of snaps. So they have to be structurally strong and a good fabric to hold that. And so, yeah, I think there are competitors out there, but our everyday feedback coming through is just that people really love our shirts.
Allie, what do you have?
I'm going to sound a bit like a broken record. First, I love your idea. I love your passion, but I would love to know a bit more about the unit economics. And then second, if you've got time, how do you see this scaling?
So we basically, our factories are over in China, and we're getting killed right now on shipping costs. But with our first big orders and the inventory that I actually have that I hold in my house, I do everything from my house. When my kids go to sleep is when I ship everything out and fulfill orders and all that stuff. But basically it costs us about $50 to get a shirt over here right now. And those margins are very high because we front loaded everything. So I've actually purchased rolls of fabric that are over there in the factories, so that now every order that we place from here on out, the margins will go up because I've already kind of pre-purchased that. And then I wanted to get stuff that was in stock here so that I can fulfill orders as we need. But margins now will improve just because I've front loaded kind of inventory and getting fabric made and paid for already. As far as scaling goes, I am sitting on my next ideas, and it kills me that they are here in my house. I'm just waiting for the money to be able to put them out in the world. But we have 2 pairs of pants that are, there's nothing else like them out there. We have like a jogger and a straight leg pant that completely open up, that, like I said, there's nothing out there. And so it's killing me that they're here. And then we also have a lighter weight version of the shirt that we will sell at a lower price point, which will appeal to, I think, a lot of people. But they also then have port and pick line access on each side. And actually, as to answer the question prior to, is as far as the competitors go, people have openings in the shirts, but we have openings for both like the chest access and the arm access on both sides. And so I wanted to make a shirt that is a lighter weight fabric for summer months, and just, like I said, to lower the price point.
So a question from our audience, how are you marketing to your target market? How do you reach them?
So that's why I am planning to fundraise, because that's been the biggest thing. We've been launched for about a year, and it's me. And so all the outreach comes from me, and I reach out to infusion suites and patients. I'm getting them into hospitals that I'm near and getting them into patients and stuff like that. But everything, I've had no paid ads. I ran a small ad campaign on Facebook, and that's because one of my patients works there and was like, here, take this, you know, I want to gift that to you. So the money really is to help kind of market and push it out there. But the big thing that I'm actually really trying to go for is to try, and what we're looking at now is infusion suites are now purchasing bulk orders from us and customizing them to and branding them to their infusion suite and selling them. So that's where my mind now wants to go for this next year, is just think a little bit bigger and let people use the shirt as they see needed to their population.
Fantastic idea. I think, Kendra, we're out of time.
We are.
All right.
Thank you. Bryn, great presentation. Thank you very much. Okay, last but certainly not least in our lineup tonight, we're going to go to Allie with StarMind. Allie, you are up. There you go, Allie. You're up.
Okay. So,
Oh, there you go. There's your audio. Okay.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Allie Davenport. I'm the founder and CEO of StarMind. So StarMind is a company that introduces you to self-development principles and reflective habits so you can live more insightful days through its mindset journal, The Guide. And while I am a solo founder, I do have a very credible board of advisors. So on the far left, you see Dr. Carl Lesway. He is a key opinion leader, has a PhD in psychology, and also serves as the provost for the University of Connecticut, the school to which I attend. I also have Dr. Ramani Durvasula, who also has a doctorate in psychology. She's a clinical psychologist and serves as my key opinion leader. And finally, on the right, we have Dr. David Noble, who serves as the growth advisor and is director of the Worth Institute. Next slide. So there's a huge problem that Americans are facing right now, and it is this mental health crisis, which has been amplified by the pandemic. If you look at the numbers, according to APA, 32.7% of US adults report symptoms of anxiety. That's 1 in 3 of us in this call. Additionally, 25.7% of US adults report symptoms of depression, and both of these numbers are drastically have spiked since 2019, and a lot of that has been because of the pandemic. And so after performing a lot of one-on-one interviews with individuals and paying attention to national conversations, we realized that people want to get into the world of self-development and learn more about psychology and self-awareness, but they lack the guidance and structure in their pursuits. And we're not trying to have this replace therapy or medication, but we want it to act as a tool to bridge that gap and empower those individuals. Next slide, please. So what sets our product apart? The guide has a integrative QR code system, which I designed. So there's 10 QR code pages, and when scanned, each QR links you to curated content from top thought leaders, scientists, and more. It's holistic content, so it's very relatable, and concepts could include burnout, time management, motivation, etc. Finally, you're brought back to the paper to reflect. So there's this great integration of digital with physical. Other unique factors are our branding. So StarMind, the star part of it comes from the starfish and how they can regenerate limbs when damaged. So this regenerative symbolism really has resonated with customers and sets us apart. It's also made in America. I chose to work with a domestic manufacturer. And finally, the pages are undated. Next slide. So far, I'll throw some data at you. We launched on November 1st of 2021. We sold out of our 450 units by December 19th, and we currently have 187 units of product on back order. So this is 20K in gross revenue, and it's strongly validating the demand. Next slide. So finally, if we look at distribution channels, right now we're going B2C, so e-commerce, direct to consumer. I'm using my college network and word of mouth marketing in those pursuits, but I want to also focus on B2B long-term and target specific organizations, whether that's teams, athletic departments, schools, etc., in those pursuits. And so sessions with domain experts would greatly accelerate the growth of this brand. Thank you, and I'll open it up to questions.
Wow, I didn't even have to ding my wine glass. You are spot on. I love the name. Let's start with Rach.
Hi, wonderful idea, and so needed in these times. So one of the ideas that we were talking about through our chat is a little bit around like how you plan to maybe integrate with apps that are in the space or other things that could help kind of give legs to this. One of our key concerns, or one of my key concerns, is around your total addressable market and how you're going to make this work long term. So just kind of unpack that a little bit.
Yeah, so that's a great question. So right now, of course, the guide is a physical product, and with the QR codes, we're looking to integrate. So once you scan it, it goes to our website, and then from there, it links out to this curated content from top thought leaders, etc. But down the line, I'd like for that to be StarMind content, and going off of that, I could see this brand long term becoming more conversational in the mental health and self-development space, whether that looks like a YouTube channel, podcast, other types of kind of getting into that content creator economy, in addition to our physical product. I think that would work. And then also another thing that I've been considering is an affiliate marketing. So in the sense of right now, the resources that we're linking to, it's pretty much driving traffic to them. So long term, I could see relationships form between these really established organizations where it's mutual gains between both of us.
Thank you.
Jean, go ahead.
2 quick questions. You could easily conceptualize this as an app, but you started with a physical book, and I wonder whether there was what was the motivation for that? Because obviously creating and shipping a book takes time, effort, and money. So help me understand kind of that piece of it and why that's unique and why you did that.
Yes, of course. That's a great question. So I was very intentional with the modality of it, and I knew I wanted a physical product. I was doing a lot of research, and I had over 23 customer discovery interviews. And from my conversations one-on-one with people, it seems like a lot of people still valued that pen to paper connection. And there's a lot of studies to back up how just valuable that is. And also in terms of privacy. Like I like how the concept, you have the physical product, and then once you scan the QR, you're entered into this digital world. And so that allows you to consume content and resources like long research articles and videos that just can't be contained in paper. But then ultimately you're brought back to our product to reflect and have that kind of private, intimate notebook that I think
So
still
you write,
serves
the
a
idea
need.
is people write in the book. They're writing in it. Yeah, I just didn't.
It's like a journal. Yes.
Got it. And okay, very good. I'll let others ask.
Allie, go ahead.
Great. Yeah. So you said you had, I think it was 187 sales so far. What's the feedback been from your customers?
Yeah, so I sold out of the 450 units initially, and so I have 187 on back order now. So that total, just to clarify,
a lot more than 187 you sold. Okay.
Just to clarify, and yeah, I've really focused right now on getting that consumer feedback, and I am putting in a new order right now with my manufacturer to also increase my margin because it's a more bulk order. And I had a really good conversation. It was like an hour-long call with one of my consumers that was the first to buy it, and we had this long conversation, and she talked about things she liked and didn't like. One aspect was she wanted more room to reflect and write, especially after consuming the QR code content. So I took that into thought and kind of executed on that user experience. And then another key feature that people liked were the QR codes centered around a certain psychology concept. So one is around motivation, one is self-talk, one is burnout, and they like how it's already kind of grouped into one content. So it's not just random digital content being thrown at them.
All right, we're out of time, and I have to apologize. I wasn't getting the Q&A from the audience, so I would advise you to email the founders directly with your questions. And there's always a lot more questions that we can ask, and we always seem to run out of time. Kendra, back to you.
You're on vacation, Holly.
I don't know
where's
what
your
I'm
head? In the Bahamas?
Maybe.
Allie, that was a really fantastic presentation, Star Minds. So thank you. You know, I have to say, I always sit here and I love the diversity that we have in the companies. I mean, think about it. We went from reusable containers to Alzheimer's tests to kids sanitizer to sharing parking spaces to cancer treatment shirts to a mindset journal. So there's no overlap going on there, which is amazing. And thank you to all of our businesses, all of our female founders and pitchers. This is never an easy job for the judges, and I'm always happy that I'm not one of them. So I'm going to ask the judges to now please retire for your voting. This will be for 8 minutes. That 8 minutes will be timed by Christine Sullivan. So while you're going to go off and do that, I want a couple other housekeeping and then our guest speaker while the judges deliberate. So goodbye, judges. See you in 8 minutes. I want everyone in our audience to know, everyone at home, that Felicia, HAYVN's founder, is offering all of you a free one-day pass to come in and experience this amazing co-working space that I am sitting in right here in Darien. It's a yellow light special, but you have to email hello@hayvn.com by tomorrow, end of day tomorrow. So jot that down, hello@hayvn.com. And then the managers here will set you up with your day pass, and that can be used anytime before the end of the year, the end of 2022. While the judges are deliberating, I have the pleasure of introducing our guest speaker and a former judge here at Hatch, and she's a huge HAYVN Hatch supporter, Fran Hauser. Fran is a former judge, but more important, she is a startup investor and best-selling author who is here.
Second. Let me see if I can
I'm going to ask you to mute. There you go, Jean. Jean, I need you to mute. There you go.
Okay.
Jean. Mute. There you go. Okay. Back to Fran. Fran is a former HAYVN Hatch judge, but more important, she's a startup investor and a best-selling author. You're looking at her book right there on the screen. She's here to share her highlights from her new book that is debuting in March. So you guys are getting a sneak peek. It is Practical and Inspiring Guided Workbook for Women. Embrace the work, love your career. Welcome, Fran. We are psyched to hear from you. So take it away.
Hello. Thanks, Kendra. Oh, it's so great to be here. I love these events. I've had the privilege of judging twice now, and I really don't envy the judges tonight, because I think all of you just did such an amazing job. So congratulations to all 6 founders. I'm really psyched to talk to you about my new book, Embrace the Work, Love Your Career, which comes out at the end of March. And really the inspiration for the book came to me last year around this time, when I noticed that so many of my friends and colleagues were really struggling with their career path. They were questioning their purpose, even like down to kind of their day-to-day work. And look, I think a lot of this questioning comes from the fact that we've been living in a pandemic for the last 2 years. And it's really caused many of us to have an existential crisis and just question the meaning of everything that we do and where we spend our time. So I wanted to create a framework to help women do some reflecting, do some exploring, and ultimately create a plan for creating a career that they love. And that's what this book is. There's 6 sections in the book. The section that I'm going to be reading from is section 4, which is called Know Your Value. And I think this is a really important section because it's hard to love your career if you don't own your strengths or feel a deep connection to what you're capable of. So knowing your value is just such a huge part of this. So I'm going to read an excerpt to all of you. So this is page 124. It's called Self-Assurance, Facts versus Fiction. If you struggle with feeling self-assured, you're not alone. We all feel like that sometimes. To this day, when I'm struggling with the decision or feeling insecure, I go back to the evidence. It's really hard to argue with facts. I think about what I have done that's worked, how I did it, and what the outcome was. When I was at Time Inc., I was asked to give a speech to 300 managers, and I was nervous. A close friend told me, think back and remember a time when you gave a good speech. It was simple but solid advice. Before delivering that big presentation, I thought back to a speech I'd given a few years before that my team said really resonated with them. I visualized that speech in as much detail as I could possibly remember. What I'd said, how I'd said it, and how it had felt to succeed. This made me feel far more confident. This purposeful self-reflection will result in what I call evidence-based confidence. To develop your own, start keeping a list of your successes to look back on whenever those feelings of self-doubt creep up. Also, include any insights you gained around the process to achieve that successful outcome. Self-assurance builds not just from wins, but also from the confidence that comes with repeatable actions. For me, when I figured out the best way to prepare for a speech, I felt more in control before the next one because I could rely on a process that worked for me in the past. And I go on to talk about this journal that I keep that I call a smile file. And basically what I do in my smile file is anytime I do work that creates real value, or, if I have a win, or maybe I'm really proud of the way that I responded to a difficult situation, or maybe someone just sent me like a really nice email, like saying, great job. I take all of that and I keep it in my smile file. And in the book, I actually created, there's a section where you can write down those things. And what I find is that whenever I'm feeling a little bit of imposter syndrome, or if I feel like I don't belong, or I don't deserve a seat at the table, I go back and I look at that list, because that's a list of what I'm capable of, right? That's showing actual things that I have done in the past that have created real value. So whenever I need a little bit of a confidence boost, I go back to that list. You can keep it, it could be a note on your phone. It could be, written down on a piece of paper. I have a friend who has a smile file that's a folder in her inbox where she just drags emails that make her feel good into that folder. So that's one excerpt. I'm going to look at the time. I'm going to read one more. So this excerpt is called The Confidence Gap. Your smile file is a powerful asset against self-doubt. Sadly, I've seen that many of the women I've worked with and mentored over the years are less likely to truly believe in their capabilities than their male peers. When Hewlett-Packard was looking to place more women in top leadership positions, they found that women were likely to apply for a job only when they believed they met a full 100% of the qualifications listed for the job. In other words, they applied only if they were a perfect match for the role. Men, on the other hand, applied if they met only 60% of the qualifications. That's the confidence gap. So I go on to talk about how this is so prevalent, and it's affected me in different ways over the years. I share a story about when I was working at AOL, and AOL and Time Warner merged. Time Inc. was one of the divisions within Time Warner, and they posted this job that I was so interested in. It was basically a role that would be the liaison between AOL and Time Inc. and figure out really cool, innovative ways for the two divisions to work together. And when I looked at the job description, all I could focus on was what I didn't have. I was so focused on the fact that I had never worked with magazines before. And I was so intimidated by magazines like People and InStyle and Entertainment Weekly. And it actually took one of my male colleagues at AOL to say to me, like, Fran, you would be so amazing in this role because you're so good at building bridges and you're so good at relationships. And oh, by the way, you have media background. It may not be print, but you have digital media background. So again, it took one of my male colleagues to convince me that I was good enough. And I went for the role. I got it. And I ended up working at Time Inc. for 10 years. I was promoted 3 different times. And the last role that I had there was president of digital, where I was running a really important division of the company. So I'm just going to leave you with that thought, right? The idea of men will go for the job if they feel 60% qualified. So when an opportunity presents itself to you, don't focus on what you don't have, but instead focus on what your assets are and what your strengths are and what you can bring to the table. And I'm going to end there. But I'm so excited. So it comes out end of March. Embrace the work, love your career. Thank you, Felicia. Thank you, Kendra.
Fran, you are awesome. That book and you and your little speech is such a sidebar and dual sort of mission of HAYVN. I mean, look, I think anywhere you are in your career, maybe you're trying to scale a business, maybe you've just switched to another company, maybe your kids are just going to college and you want to get back into the workforce. We all have our moments of self-doubt. We all need to remind ourselves of our value. And I think that a guided workbook, regardless of where you are and regardless of who you are, is awesome and useful. So thank you, Fran. That was really, really great. Judges, I am going to assume you are back. Can I see you on the screen so that we know that we are here? And Christine, and the time, I only see Jean's picture. Are the judges back? Hello, Christine. Okay. Well, while they come back, I'm going to talk about the prize package, the support package. So as I said in the beginning, HAYVN is all about, of course, helping our community grow. The prize package does just that. The winner will, of course, win a little cash prize that was the donations from the audience and the attendees. But our support package is for the runner-up and for the winner, and it is fantastic. It is a 1-month branch membership at HAYVN. And what a beautiful space it is behind me that you all have to come see to build your business. They will also get input and advice from a team of gurus and experts to guide their growth. You're looking at it on the screen. You can see by the slide, we've gathered an amazing board of directors of all sorts. The winner will get time with the winner and runner-up will get time with any and all of these women whom they choose and they want the input and advice for. Marie Roca of Realist Ventures, Funding and Strategy, Christine Sullivan, Strategy and Finance, Alexis Brooks, Legal Issues, Deborah Lutsky, Digital Retail Partners, she'll help you with your email marketing, Nancy Sheed, Social Media Assessment, Kim Barron, New Leaf Graphic Design and your branding, Belinda Wasser, Rocket Girl, Business Systems, that's me, Kendra Farnett P. Guerin with any video strategy you might need, Holly Hurd with Venture Mom, she'll profile each winner on the Venture Mom blog, and you'll also get a copy of her Venture Mom book. Not only that, our judges have generously offered to give our winner and our runner-up feedback on their pitches. So make sure, winner and runner-up, that you also reach out to the judges. Basically, the prize package is a team of experts for the winner and runner-up to utilize to grow their business. And hey, what could be better than that? Okay, judges, are we back? I need to see you on the screen. Jean, all of the judges. Christine, are we ready? The time is here to announce, there you are, to announce our runner-up and our winner. Drum roll, please. Rach, I am going to ask you if you would please start with the runner-up first and give us a few lines, a little dissertation about how the judges arrived at the runner-up, and then follow that, if you would, Rach, with the winner and how you arrived at that decision as well. Take it away. I know it was not easy.
Thank you, Kendra. This is very exciting for all of us, and we really enjoyed all the pitches. Just so you know, we know how hard it is to be sitting in your seat, so this was a challenging job on our end to pick somebody from our group. You were all exceptional, and it's pretty exciting. So from our end, we looked at momentum towards your goal and really your overall excitement in your given category. We wish that we could have 3 winners, and we really are actually 6 winners, but we have picked 3 people that we really feel fantastic about, and we've narrowed it down to 2. So our runner-up is Bryn from Patch 10. We felt that you had a very clear market strategy, and that we know that protecting it is going to be hard, but you're following all the right paths in order to get there. We love your concept. We think it's so unique and so thoughtful. You could move into line extensions in the future, and we really felt that that was a really, really special kind of business and something that was very unique. Our second runner-up, if we're allowed to have one, is Allie from StarMind. Allie, we love your idea. We think that we love your energy and how you're thinking about it. You really are a star, and you've kind of figured out all the right paths. We know that there's a bigger opportunity, and to listen to your customers I think they're on the right track. So if you can kind of spend a little bit more energy and time on that, we would love it. And then finally, for our winner, Allie, this was a unanimous One Fun Company. We're very, very excited about what you built. You really articulated a clear vision beyond just one product. You've solved a clear need in the market. You've created a moat around it, and we see that you have an opportunity for significant growth in the future. So all of us on our end are super excited for your success, and we can't wait to see what happens next. Kendra, do you want me to share a little bit more about the rest of the team? Or
Absolutely. Share look, all feedback is good, and sometimes in a public forum, it's even better for other people who aren't involved to hear.
Okay, excellent. Well, first of all, again, everyone else, the rest of you, it was a wonderful experience for us to get to hear your business ideas. And if we had more time to unpack, it's very likely that there would have been a different outcome. So first, starting with Karen, we love your conscious container idea. Wonderful. And it's so needed. It's such a unique concept in the market. Unfortunately, we really didn't understand how your business model worked or how you were going to make money immediately. So we would love to understand a little bit more about that. And we'd encourage you to come back to us with some other details. Mila from Crystal Neuro, unbelievable concept. And if we assume that the science works because you're into a patent application already, We believe that it will be a successful business model. We think you would do well to find a business partner for your science because you can clearly articulate the science side, but we really feel like you'd be best supported by somebody who has a business background. And finally, Courtney, what a cool idea. We all need this. We all need this, like travelers, New Yorkers, we're all waiting for it. We do feel like there's going to be some challenges on either side of the market. And it kind of feels a little hard to believe like that there isn't going to be people all vying for the same parking spot at one time. So I'm waiting for those train wrecks to happen, but we're excited to watch you grow and kind of build this incredible brand. We see so many opportunities for it. So we'd love to track along with you.
Fantastic. I can't tell you. So we have a winner and two runner-ups. Runners up would be the grammatically correct way to say that, Kendra. So thank you, Rach, for outlining all that. Listen, congratulations to all 6 of you presenters. It is not easy. You were all amazing. And look, as we always say, everybody's impressive. Everyone's inspiring. And as an entrepreneur myself, I really always say good, bad, or indifferent, all feedback is so priceless and really important for all female entrepreneurs. So we really, really encourage this conversation to continue. Like I said before, everyone in the audience, judges, presenter to presenter, reach out through websites and answer questions and continue the connections and the support, because that's really what HAYVN is all about, is inspiring and supporting each other as female entrepreneurs. So thank you so much to everyone and congratulations to all 6 of you, but especially the winner and our 2 runners up. Okay, couple quick housekeeping notes before we send you off for the night. We have our next HAYVN Hatch event on the calendar already, April 25th, with a pitch application of March 28th. So please spread the word. And hopefully we'll be back in person right here in this amazing space in Darien. The date for our next Hatch Lit, if you're not familiar with that, that's for female entrepreneurs age 16 to 22. It is amazing. They're so inspiring at their young ages. That is going to be in October. The exact date is TBD, so look on social media for that, and please spread the word if you have any young entrepreneurs between 16 and 22 who you have in mind, and send them our way. That is it. Thank you guys for a fantastic night. For a quick goodbye, I'm going to send it back to our fearless leader, Felicia.
Thank you, Kendra. And thank you all to the judges, to Fran for sharing your book, our amazing presenters, and our Hatch team for switching this quickly from live to virtual. I also wanted to give a shout out to CT Next for all their support of the entrepreneur community in Connecticut. HAYVN is a CT Next partner, which means that we're a hub to help businesses grow and thrive in the state of Connecticut. And we're open, we're safe. So come in when you're feeling comfortable and take a tour of HAYVN. We have all sorts of membership options. We work the way you do. We have private offices, meeting rooms, part-time private offices, and hot desks. So come in, check out all our inspiring events. This is one of many. And don't forget to email us at hello@HAYVN for your free day pass by tomorrow night. So thank you all. Enjoy your night.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Bye.